2008 general election saw many promising young candidates win and serve as members of Parliament and State Assemblyperson. In this week's edition of Young Guns, we present you Jenice Lee, the incumbent State Assemblyperson for Teratai. In 2008, contesting under DAP's ticket, Jenice Lee surprised everyone when she defeated a veteran Gerakan candidate.
I don't think I would join politics if I follow what my mom said because she always wanted me to be a good teacher with good pay, stability in life, don't go for any exciting things in the world. But of course, I'm not that type of character, not the kind of child. So I always challenge whatever teachers said, even my parents, and put up a lot of questions on like the things they do, the way we live, and so on and so forth. That's why I always argue with my teacher and my parents when I was young. But then, of course, I never think of joining politics because when we are growing up, the education system in Malaysia taught us to choose either you want to be teacher, a scientist, and even astronaut is okay. Engineering, doctors, lawyers, these are our priority choice, and teacher would taught us to, better choose from around this group. So I will always choose something very weird like artists, the one to draw the nice pictures and everything. But I never know what I have to do and I will do in future. So until I go to one of the college called New Era College, that was my first college in my life, and I learned so many things happen in social because the college provide us with a very good environment and with freedom of academic and freedom of thinking and freedom of association and freedom of choice. Because the purpose for this college is not for profit, it's to develop us as a true human being, as a responsible citizen. And that was the time of the turning point of Malaysian politics where Anwar Ibrahim was sacked, and then also Lim Kuan Yew was jailed because of helping a Malay woman who was accused of rape by a minister. Then we found that this is something wrong in the country. So then when I moved to Australia, I restart everything again because I think whatever I learned in Malaysia is not sufficient for me. So I started all over again. I studied economics. Then eventually I found that I'm confident enough, so I studied economics and politics and of course international relationship. And this is how I gained my political knowledge. But of course before I go overseas, I already joined DAP and as an active member, but only for organizing event and activities within and outside the party. And after I graduate, I straight away joined YP Fong Kwee Loon, Ali Parliament for Bukit Bintang, to help him for the constituency work. And then I go for some business for a year or two before I come to Teratai. Yes, very difficult and challenging. Because when you are young, and somewhere in Malaysia politics over the past 50 years, normally if you are young, unless you are in BN, then you put a name card at BN, everybody will respect you. But when we are young and in those days still called opposition, and even we become a ruling government, people will look down at us and they wouldn't entertain us. I remember the first time second, third times I bring a case to a local council here called MPAJ. I went there with a middle-aged man for his case. You know, everybody come out to shake hands with him because they thought this is the YB Adun and then I am the one to be served afterward. So I was so surprised. I look at the man also very shocked and he don't know what happened. Women and men also come out, and when people say, oh, YB is here, women and men came out and shake hands with the man automatically, never ask who. And then when they know it's me, everybody stare at me. You are Adun. Sorry. So it's a perception when politics is supposed to be the field or the area for the men, not for the women. I feel I found lots of difficulty because people don't respect. As a woman and young, they thought you have no experience, you know nothing, and you don't know how to play this game. So every time when we want to get something to be achieved or solve some problem, we have to raise our voice. No choice. People call us chili padi. It's not my choice. I want to be a sweet one. I don't want to be a chili padi because too spicy for me also. But if you don't do so, they just like pretend we don't see you. They can't see you. They cannot hear you. So after a while, they know I'm so fierce. I have no choice. Then they will start to at least, they pay a little bit respect on you. But after 5 years, situation become better. Because like it or not, they have to accept there are many young women in politics now. So this is the kind of, can be a conflict or the cultural differences between those day politics and nowadays politics.
Let's talk about the voters.
Yeah.
Do you think they're too demanding?
Yes. After we become government, they have an impression like we can make everything change. We can even turn the rocks into a gold. So everybody will come with all sorts of demand, and they put a very high expectation on us. They thought like we can do everything. Most of the time they are neighborhood issues, but the problem is we cannot suddenly cover everything because we have so many emergency cases and priority to do. So sometimes we just advise them, if just a little bit thing, since you are the neighbor or you saw the thing, actually as a citizen we can do something just to cut. I mean, it's not that difficult job. And of course they feel not happy. I say, these are not doing anything, not helping us. So when they say help, we have to separate what sort of help you're asking for. But the rest of the thing, we will distribute the work to our ahli majlis. We have local councillor here. We will also do the job, but the problem is we have to solve from the top policy, not case by case. Can you imagine we have a population here, just Tun Teratai only, 100,000 people. And this is resident only, haven't included those businessmen come here. We call this mobile people, they come here to work and then they go back to another place at night time. So we have too many population to handle, and we really sort of hand. My office, full-time staff, two only, plus me 3. The rest are volunteer. They help us voluntarily. So we really cannot handle everything. So most of the time, if the local issue we consider quite tiny, like a little bit pothole, straight lines, longkang things, we will pass it to our local councillors, or we will advise them to go to the nearest local councillors. And sometimes even you just giving this kind of advice or suggestion, they will feel unhappy already. They say you try to push away all the job you're supposed to do. But the problem is people don't know what we're supposed to do as a government. Many cases are private issues, like some family dispute, the bill they didn't pay, or they are hutang some banks and the banks come to their house and lelong the house. Many electricity cut off is quite, or private issue. It's not like the whole area blackout. It's electricity cut off for certain houses. Didn't pay for certain things. Then along kacau, cars missing. All this also come to our office, which I think we really sort of hand to handle all this issue. And actually, ideally in Malaysia, people don't know. We are formulating policies. We have to change from the top the policies. For example, we move away or we sack the alam fora. We want to pay the money directly to the rubbish cleaner, so they clean the street. Instead of the middle person to take some portion, we straight paying the contractor. So if the contractor didn't perform, we sack them, change another one. This is a policy we have changed already. So now, after 5 years, I did a survey by Merdeka Center. 70% of the residents happy with the current rubbish collecting policies. They feel very happy, they collect and clean. So this is the policy we are doing. And another policy is to make these places more livable. I actually push the local council to impose every business owner must buy their own rubbish bin. It sounds so silly, I know. It's supposed to be you have to buy, and this is an automatic consensus, no need to advise. But there are some people, maybe they thought can take advantage of somebody else's rubbish bin. They have been throwing the rubbish to the dumping site for so many years. Why you come here and ask to make the change and purchase this rubbish bin. But I think this is a responsibility for every household and also business owner. So we make the change. Of course, during the changes of policy, we got so many people's complaint, because they say we have been running business for so many years. You want us to buy grease trap, you want us to buy rubbish bin. I have putting my tables and chair on the roadside for so many years. Now you want us to move in. But this is how we manage the whole area. Because of the growing population, if this is kampong, I think I don't really mind. I mean, as long as it's clean, you don't disturb people, it's fine. But when population growing, we need a proper management policies. And we also have change a law, especially not law, a policy in local council, where we have a road gang since 3 years back or 4 years back. So every Friday, for example, in Teratai, when there is a complaint of potholes, they will come and cover every Friday. Maybe Thursday in Cempaka and the other day is other places. So at least we have a fixed team to do the job. And the complaint can be settled very fast. And then if those things is not under MPAJ, then I have to come up with my constituency fund to cover it. So those are the policy. And we also have a policies from the state government to ensure politicians not to be corrupt. So now we have no power to sign any land. We have no power to sign any project, which I don't mind. Actually, I really don't mind. As long as the things going well, business people can earn money, do the job properly according to the law. People who live here, they can live comfortably. This is what we want. So, but then we also change the policy where every 2 months we have a meeting in Pejabat Tanah together with all the Adun and Ahli Parliament to discuss matters arising in our area. So these are the policy we change to make sure we all are clean. Politics in Malaysia need a system to ensure the corruption can be limited to very, very limit. I won't say it can be 100%. Nowhere in the world can make 100%, 0% clean. But at least we limit the politician not to have any interest with certain projects. Second thing is, we need to ensure all the government agencies also clean. That's why we propose a declaration of assets for all the full-time politician, not full-time politician, the ESCO and the Menteri Besar. And also, I think certain government servants, they also need to declare their assets, the high-ranking one, to ensure everything is clean. And the current system is we don't have a complete system to ensure everything is clean and fair, because there are so many loopholes. We have to stop all these loopholes and also correct all the red tapes in the government bureaucracy, so everything can go smooth and fast. It changed through the time, and I think before the whole political culture in Malaysia changed, each political party have to change their culture to make sure potential candidates are clean, make sure potential candidate can serve and with the knowledge. So there should be a professional or systematic assessment. The current politics was who get the crony right channel or right cables, you can be promoted very fast, or you can get whatever project or something. I'm talking about the general situation, not only for BN, but general situation. So we need a proper assessment that where you can choose the right candidates, and also the way to stop we have any business tied with certain interest group. I mean, this is the first thing we have to do. And also, we need to give money to the political parties. This is very true, because every political party needs to survive. They need to employ their staff, and they need their own office, maintenance, everything. The current situation is every party have to raise their own fund. If very positive, like DAP, we raise a fund, we get a box, and then people donate money. But that is what we have done for 40 over years. But for those Barisan Nasional, they never take a box, they never ask for a donation. Where they get the money? Of course, this is a question mark. They have to answer. But to make it more transparent, to be fair to every political party, there are a few examples in the world we can learn from it. Like, for example, in Germany, every political party will get fund according to the number of votes you get during the election. So say you get 10% of the vote, we appropriate the 10% of money to your party. This is for your maintenance, everything, paying salary, which is sufficient for them to survive. They don't have to go outside and get donation. And then big party, of course, you get more. So they will channel through a foundation. They call foundation. A foundation will pay. This is how the foundation can also check and balance for the party leaders. So you cannot misuse of the fund because there are two groups of people looking at it. That is to ensure we won't go outside to have some business tie or or exchange, or you help me or I help you. We don't have, so we can stop this kind of you help me, I help you culture. Even though we are in government, very honestly, we get very little fund to maintain our office. Even our office staff, I don't mind to tell everybody, we've got 1,400 ringgit only. In the city area, who wants to work for you? Some more we have always extra hour, overtime, all this work, Saturday and Sunday. So we have to come up with our own fund to top up for them. So this is really not the proper way to run. Like us DAP, we get a box and get people to donate money. But I think this is not the right way. In future, every party have to be paid properly. Every Adun office, Ali Parliament office, no matter they are ruling party or opposition, we have to pay. Make sure there's sufficient fund to get a proper political secretary, proper researcher, proper assistant, and a proper office. I would say I did all my best to improve the environment. At least now you won't see the, lesser dead body of the rats along the roadside. Everything is clean. All those 20 years, 30 years, Longkang collapse haven't been repaired, is now repaired. All the cases we receive now are the current one, not those day one. And I've run a few big campaigns in my constituency. First is the women's right. We constantly organize seminar and training for women to create the awareness of their own rights and how to take care of their children. And the second one is the environment preservation project, or 3R, reduce, reuse and recycle. I mean, this is an ongoing campaign. I wouldn't say it's 100% successful, but at least I can create the awareness to show that politicians, we are not solving the Longkang Jalan issue. We have more campaign and bigger, more things to do for the community rather than just a tiny money individual case. We are doing more on the policy to let them understand the importance of recycle, reuse, and also to clean up your environment. And also I run quite a number of education classes for the young children who cannot afford to go to tuition and they are not having any good result in the school. So it's more on the volunteerism work. And we encourage people to run their own campaign by sponsoring fund for them. So this one show I will pay direct to the organization, so no commission in between and no payback to me. So the clean culture, clean and responsible culture, this is what we should develop. I think haven't achieved, not didn't achieve. It's I requesting the government to provide a piece of school land, a reserve land for a Chinese primary school. Until today, because of difference of opinion for me and the government, they want the piece of land to be turned into a mini stadium, where I don't agree, because we have so many stadiums nearby in the area. So I'm still fighting for a piece of reserve land for Chinese school. I mean, even we have the land, of course, if the federal government don't approve any, they didn't give any school, it's also useless. End up the land could be turned into any commercial lot, and it happened in some other places. So we are still having kind of like fighting with the federal government. If they can approve the school, then it's not a problem for the state government to provide any land. But the problem, if they don't provide a school, if we reserve the land will be eventually surrendered to the Minister of Education. They can turn it to other purpose, just like what happened in Lembah Maju. They rent it out for car workshop, lorry parking, a few workshops like welding also there. That is the land supposed to be reserved for the school. My hope for the future, of course, we hope Pakatan Rakyat can be a government. To change a government is not sufficient. We need a group of people who have the brand and the idea to run the country. This is the most important. So the purpose to change a government is just a process. But how we implement the new policy to make our people's life more comfortable, this depends on the brand and the idea from the new politicians. So we hope the GE people can give us the support in full force to eliminate all the pengundi hantu, all the ghosts, and also to vote for us. I know it's a tough fight, very tough fight, and there will be so many obstacles in between, but we have to overcome. And this is the only way we can make the change. Because we don't use any armed force, we don't use any bullet, but we use ballot. Whole area, they won't ask for any special privilege, special right. They never ask for a better education system. They just ask for their longkang to be solved, their road to be resurfaced better every year. And sometimes they ask to chop the trees, I don't know why, and some trimming. People here, it's more on the middle class, they never ask for extra. They just want this very simple thing to be done, and especially their complaint can be attended very fast. This is what they want, and it's matching with the survey I did. They only ask for this. Of course, the other thing is not under my authority is keselamatan, the security issue. That one is really out of my manageable area, but I'm trying to help. So what we can do is to change the environment, at least to reduce the problem. For example, I do the walkway for the resident. This is actually one of my plan for so many years already. In a proper developed community, you should have a proper walkway for the people to walk, with fencing in Malaysia, in the case of Malaysia, to avoid those women or elder people become the victim of the snatching cases. But when I do the walkway, surprisingly, there are so many people oppose it, especially the penjaja. They hate it so much because they want parking, parking, and parking. And I think this is something different between our concept of development in the area, where the proper development for me supposed to be we have to reduce to use any vehicles by walking. So first can reduce the pollution. Second is to ease the traffic jam. But for many of them, they think like the car is more important than the pedestrian and other things. So I have a few cases where I got sabotage from these people. And because they are not happy, they say, I want parking only, I don't care you walk or not. I mean, they claim that everybody will drive their car. But can you imagine thousands of people drive their car in the same area, especially in the market area? The traffic will be very jammed and pollution will be very high. Like Singapore, this concept is really from Singapore, where you stop the bus stop and then you have a proper place you can walk back to your home in a secure manner. This is because people now are fighting with the car walking along the roadside, which I think is very dangerous. Sometimes I saw them like bringing a few children, and the children was like just side by side with the motor car and the lorries, which I think is so dangerous for them. And the roof, because Malaysia always raining, so no choice, we have given a proper roof. So even raining, they have a place to shelter. At the moment, if raining, if unlucky you don't see any shop lot, you all get wet. And this is not supposed to be a community. A community will be very enjoy walking, and then you have a proper shelter place. But this shelter also create another problems where I think the Majlis not agree, because when I do a proper walkway with shelter, all the penjaja will go in. It's illegal penjaja. They will take up the place and then for their business. So they don't care what happened to you. Every single small piece of land we see, you will see the penjaja will start their business there. I don't mind for those really they earn a few hundred for their own living. That one maybe we can adjust a bit. But I'm really not agree with those come as a group. They set up so many stores, or you can say they rampas, or they occupy so many places. They get those Indonesia, Myanmar, even they rent out to other places, other people for money. then they go and grab other lands again. We have this kind of organization here. So whenever I do the nice proper walkway or place, they will start popping in and then to run their business. So, and you will see like quite messy, I mean penjaja everywhere, not in a proper manner because of this group of people. They are not the poor one, they are not the needy one to need a store. They just take it. If fortunately we call pemutehan, then they can sell the place to other people for 30,000 or 20,000. If they rent the place, the price is ranking from 500 to 2005. That's why when I try to remove some of the store to other proper places or put them in the Medan Serera, we find a very strong defense, a protest from this group of people, because they're supposed to earn money from nothing. Now I suddenly go and kacau, then they got nothing. So this is what they are not happy. The actual one, the real hawkers, they will make all these noises because they know they have been exploited by these middle people. They have been exploited. They earn whatever money, then one portion have to pay these middle people as sort of like fees, cleaning fees, rental fee, whatever fees. So they also need a proper environment and secure environment for them to do their business. So I'm pity with this kind of actual hawkers, not this middle person. So now we are trying to do away the middle person, and of course they will do a lot of protests and making all the noises to all sorts of authority, including my party leadership. They did a lot of complaint like that, but I think what I did was right, so I will just go ahead.